Welcome back to another episode of Subtitled Opinions. If you're listening to this on Spotify, I would encourage you to stop. Don't support us on Spotify. Go to YouTube, where there will be a video that may look like we put a sepia filter over it. Don't worry about it. We'll figure out why that's going on for next time. This was recorded in the 1980s.
1980s.
Yeah. Check us out on YouTube if you're on Spotify. Money.
It's okay. I only work 7 hours tomorrow.
This way Gus won't accidentally bump the precarious setup we got. Good thing I have no ass. Alright.
What you doing?
What the fuck is she doing?
You're only doing this when you have 2 hair binders on? Just playing with it?
You think I got 2 hair binders on?
When do I
think I know where the location of 2 hair binders are?
I either have one. The most I'll have is one in my hair and one on my wrist.
I like to, if I do a bun, I do one ponytail and one bun. Because my hair always pops out if it's in a bun.
I had one in my hair and it fell out. I still don't know where it went.
Hair moment.
Are we recording?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
So, we'll start this one off with a question. Because I feel like this is something that can apply to a bunch of different situations. And I just experienced it in one, but I feel like we could draw it to a bunch. So,
Okay.
you know, I started getting way more into climbing recently.
Yeah.
And so what I did was, you know, awesome. I've got a bunch of free time. I've got income. I'm going to get gym membership. I'm just going to climb as much as I can. And so for like a week and a half straight, I think I only didn't climb for like 2 or 3 days. Like I actually went nuts.
Solid.
And now I have minor elbow tendonitis because that's what happens when you go, at least with climbing.
Bro.
Bro. No, so no one, the humans were never hanging like this a ton.
Mm-hmm.
And so when you start doing that, that uses these muscles.
Yeah.
And when you use these a ton and you don't use these ever, what it does is it pulls your
Yeah.
elbow a little bit. And so unfortunately now the only remedy to it is not climbing frequently at all. So I actually took an L. Like the biggest one ever.
So hard.
The only thing I can do now is climb infrequently, and I can't do a lot of it when I do. And I got to do obviously a bunch of extra like new exercises to work out the back of my arms.
That's so fun for you.
But I feel like that, you know, getting super into something really fast, and then instantly just whether or not you're forced to take a break from it, I feel, you know, to relate it to the point of this podcast, I feel a little bit like that's what a lot of people do with anime.
Yeah,
is at the start you're like, oh my god, I'll say it, there's infinite animes. Like, not really, but you could never run out.
Yeah.
And so when you finally, whether or not it's when you start watching them, but everyone hits a point, which for me, and I think a lot of people, was quarantine, where I was like, I can actually watch every show that I've ever wanted to watch now.
Yeah.
And it's to the point, like, yes, obviously, quarantine lasts, like, it's 2 years. It's been 2 years since COVID started. But now I'm at the point where, like, man, if I can do, like, 3 episodes a day, that's putting in good for me.
If I watch an anime, then I've been on the grind.
Yeah, which, at least for me, is, like, nuts. If you think back to the start of, there goes that right. If you think back to, like, the start of COVID when I
don't even remember the start of COVID. I'm gonna be honest. I have no idea what I was doing.
Just blocked out of your memory.
It's
like complete.
It's weird.
Great.
It's weird to think about it because I can't really disconnect, or it's hard to pick an actual start because I remember we graduated during COVID.
Yeah.
But it had already been
you
going
started.
on
Yeah, you started watching because like, what the fuck did I watch first?
I think I kicked off COVID with my 1-day binge of Darling in the Franxx.
When I told you to watch it after only seeing like 4 episodes, I was like, I think you'd like this because I didn't like it.
No, I can't remember if that was when I like.
I think I started quarantine and I watched SAO first. I think that's what I did, and then I don't know what I did after that.
Well, okay, no, I think my timeline must be wrong because that day that I binged Darling in the Franxx.
Yeah. I remember you'd been watching JoJo for a while. Yeah.
I had been like I'm JoJo was pre-quarantine.
I don't think so.
I think so. Well, like when I started part 1 and then I finished Phantom Blood and I was like, this shit sucks.
You don't like Phantom Blood?
I think I had watched Your Name and Weathering with You before then, because I remember after I binged Darling in the Franxx that morning, because it was morning when I finished it, like 4 a.m. or 5 a.m. I remember it was like raining, like super lightly, and I think I fucking put in my headphones on the Weathering with You soundtrack, and I think I walked like all the way down to the river. Like, I'm pretty sure.
Dude was having a main character moment.
I was like, yeah.
Yeah, I think I started, because I, like, didn't watch anime for a really long time. I watched some anime when I was younger, like in middle school and stuff. And then...
The fan?
Yeah. Well, I looked at Gus in the camera, and I saw him look at it.
But I started watching, like, in, like, middle school, and I watched Haikyuu, I watched Yuri on Ice, stuff like that. Because, I don't know.
Haikyuu based.
Yeah, I was having a moment. But I guess I stopped. It wasn't, like, any, like, specific thing of someone being like, ew, who the fuck watches anime? But it was like, oh, I want to be cool, and no one cool watches anime, so I'm gonna, like, watch some of this in secret and then just stop. And then in quarantine I was like, why the fuck do I care? And I was like, I'm just gonna watch something again.
There's no way it could have been like a cool thing for me, because at that point I was already like playing lots of Magic the Gathering and Dungeons and Dragons. So I think
the thing about me is like it's like a girl thing more, because girls are a lot meaner about that stuff.
I didn't even realize that I was, like, watching anime. Like, I remember Daniel was like, yo, watch Fairy Tail with me. And then I binged, like, 200 episodes of Fairy Tail. And I was like, oh.
I wish that had been my experience. Because it's kind of sad. Like, when I think about it, I'm like, damn, I really let myself be affected by that. But, like...
I think everyone's...
Well, everyone, like,
I think in high school, I was definitely more like, oh, I don't really... But then, I still would watch anime. I just, like, didn't talk about it.
Yeah. I think that's the big thing.
Like, at the beginning of quarantine, I had a conversation on Discord with you and Daniel. And then I was like, I'm gonna watch anime again. And I was, like, talking to you guys about it. I don't know why.
I
have
no memory of this.
Where...
That was an interesting...
What do you think moment. The stigma comes from with, like... I noticed this when I talked to my brother.
Yeah.
That if I bring up anything about anime, he's instantly just, like... Like, obviously, he watches stuff, and, like, that man... I didn't even tell him to watch. Speaking of what we're watching for next week's episode, Initial D, I was rewatching it, and he heard Speedy Speed Boy playing while he was doing his homework, and he came in and he was like, "Is this on Verve?" And I was like, "No." He's like, "Where is it?" And I was like, "Funimation." And he was like, "Can we watch that?" And I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "I can put it on the Apple TV downstairs." And he was like, "Really?" And I was like, "Yeah." And now he's just watching it. Like, so he doesn't, or at least he has less of that stigma now, but still, compared to bringing anything else up in everyday conversation, it's still like, if you bring it up, it's weird because it's so much more talked about, and like
things become so much more mainstream.
Yeah,
like when we first started watching, it was like you think about the big animes. It's like you'd watch the Saturday morning cartoons. It was like Dragon Ball, Yu-Gi-Oh, and then like Naruto and One Piece.
You'd watch those. And you would be, like, if you talked about it, you were, like, a loser.
Yeah.
And now I'm looking at it, it's like, those are the best.
Well, even, like, in high school, I watched Haikyuu.
Well, to talk to other people about, like, if you compare, like, imagine if me in high school, imagine if I walked into, like, something like Mr. Pearson's class. If I walk in there, and you guys are all sitting there, and, like, from across the room, I'm like, yo, you watched that new My Dress Up Darling episode? That was
actually public humiliation.
you would be, that would be it for you. So I like, show-wise, that's just such a better thing for us to be watching.
Well, like even in high school, I can remember there was one point in high school where one of my friends had gone on a Tinder date with a guy, and she was like...
Tinder date in high school?
Yeah. And he liked anime, and I was like, let's just watch Haikyuu, and she was like, we like finished the episode, and she was like, we're not watching anymore then. And I think, so here's the thing, I think a lot of the stigma...
Did you watch it subbed or dubbed?
We watched it subbed, but I think part of the stigma is that Americans have a thing about like very like expressive emotions. You know?
Especially in cartoons.
Yep.
Because if you think about American cartoons, it's all just like super dark humor.
Yeah, and like,
or
there's like a cringe kind of thing where people are like Americans hate when someone like it's like a genuine but very like it's hard for me to describe in a word that is not cringeworthy.
It's almost not as, or there's either like to be funny in, I think, more of like American animated stuff.
Yeah. And
part of why I think a lot of Americans might have the stigma, part of it is, I think, just ignorance that they don't even remotely know what it is.
Yeah.
But if they think about animated shit, in the US, you either have children's shows or adult shows that are just dark humor and potty humor. Like, that's it.
Yeah.
There's no Family Guy episode where Peter isn't being mildly racist or an actual man-child.
There's like BoJack Horseman or King of the Hill.
But that's new.
But that's still like dark.
It's still dark.
Humor.
You're right.
Yeah.
And I think
Invincible. It's interesting that Invincible was so well.
Did not watch.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's basically a shonen. I don't know why you'd watch it. But it's interesting that it was so well received when...
But obviously it was a very niche thing, because I hadn't heard about it before you mentioned it.
Oh, well...
I have not heard of Invincible.
Really? You haven't seen the superhero guy that, like, beats up people and is, like, kind of
the dude in the dude in the red and white thing that's bending over and he's got a fat ass? That meme that was...
I haven't seen any of it.
How did you miss that
crazy.
Meme? Anyways, it is as close to an American anime as you can get. It was this fat weekly comic book written by whoever wrote it.
Yeah.
And then some company was like, we're going to animate this.
I hate that term, though. I hate, like, American anime.
Well, I'm saying it follows the it follows the layout that animes follow.
Of some anime. Of a subgenre of anime. If it's basically a shonen, that's a subgenre.
No, I don't mean the plot of it. I mean in that it was written first and then animated from a written work. That's what I mean by American anime.
That's fair.
Rather than just someone writing...
I guess. I just think there's also a lot of other things like that, you know? Like, if you think about fucking, like, I don't know, Into the Spider-Verse, you're gonna call that an American anime?
Is that a comic?
Yeah.
First?
Yeah.
I think that's fine. Like...
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I would put it under the same thing.
Okay. That's fair.
If there's like a weekly serialization that then you're turning into an animated thing, that would fall under.
I just...
And that would be another thing, is those were both so well received by people who watched it.
That's true. I just think that people who, like, animation in the US is perceived to either be a kid thing, a dark, dirty humor thing, or like a superhero thing. And I think a lot of people don't understand that anime is not just like a cartoon in the sense that, like, Americans perceive cartoons to be. Like, anime can effectively replace most genres of normal television. Like...
What do you mean by replace?
Well, not replace,
there's
but
like
can fill the same...
Something for each
genre. Like, it's the same thing, yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's not the same thing, but it can fill the same kind of, like... Like... If you want, like, a gritty, dark, I don't know, murder drama, you could watch whatever fucking European show, or you could watch Monster. And like, it's the same.
If you want, I don't know, something stupid that you don't pay attention, like Friends, you can watch Sakamoto, and you could jump into any episode and be just as bored as I am when I watch Friends. It's all the same.
I feel like that's more of a Psyche comparison. I feel like Psyche is a better... standing there.
Hypothetically, for all of our viewers who don't know what Psyche means, give us a quick definition.
Oh, what's it called?
Is it not like
Psyche K.
Yeah, the
something
show.
something.
Oh,
Psyche
I thought
K.
you meant like
It's not like
Psyche, like P-S-Y-C-H-E.
The show Psyche K. It's kind of episodical. Like you can just watch whatever the fuck episode, and it will all make. Actually, it will make equally amounts of no sense. That's kind of the thing. Yeah, but I think I think the stigma is interesting because I think that to a certain degree, it's like the thing about Americans being repressed and not liking a show that has very expressive emotions or whatever. And also, it's like the cultural history of it, because anime is obviously like a nerd thing or whatever.
Yeah.
And I think that's changing. I think that part of it is changing. But still, like if you see, because I think one of the biggest drivers of anime becoming a mainstream thing is TikTok. Like, TikTok is what, because that's like it's so easy to find recommendations and stuff on there.
Yeah.
TikTok was one of the that was something that I actually wanted to talk about. Just in the way that I'm not, or I haven't been like addicted to any form of social media at the level that I intake TikTok.
Oh yeah, because the algorithm is so insane.
Like how it shows
it
you
got
stuff.
me
yours is bad. Yours is awful.
The least interesting Clash Royale TikTok for like 4 minutes straight.
But
Mine
the
is
thing
great.
with the algorithm is weirdly, I wouldn't necessarily say the algorithm is great because I see a lot of stuff on there that I don't actually care about.
Your for you page is bad.
My For You page right now is basically, will you go to Ukraine and fight for Ukraine? That is what my For You page is
But
right
I
now.
think the thing is, like, you don't, maybe, like...
But did you see my tweet the other day about 2 years ago it was awesome, 2 weeks longer for spring break, and now Love Sosa is the new Fortunate Son? That my TikTok has just, in the way that the past, anytime there wasn't now, if I heard, before I registered what was in the TikTok, if I heard Fortunate Son in the background, I was like, okay, it's going to be an army TikTok.
Yeah.
And now if I hear the beginning to Love Sosa in a TikTok, I'm like, it's an army TikTok. It's such a funny change.
Yeah. See, I think the thing is, like, I feel like your For You page is like that, though, because that's how they profile you. Like,
That's
they
not
think
all of
you're...
it.
I do not know how TikTok profiles me.
I think
they don't understand.
Wild card.
I would like to know. I would like to know what TikTok thinks that I like.
Yeah, you know how you can do the thing on Instagram where you can see like the advertising terms that they put on you? Like
no, how do I do this?
I can't remember how to do it, but there's a way you can do it.
While you're showing him how to do
I don't know how to do it. You're gonna have to search it out.
I've been staring at these bad boys for the past little bit.
I'm trying to choose which color looks the most naturally occurring
this
in
is
nature.
Lemonade. That's blue.
I fucking hate lemonade. I'm getting
berry lemonade.
I'm doing
Strawberry,
green.
lime,
I trust green the most.
What is that one?
Apple.
Alright, guess.
I
I'd
just
be
know.
content with either of these.
I want the berry.
The berry?
The berry lemonade.
Not to
So
be a
I'm
woman,
getting
but I need help.
strawberry
I got
lime
it.
soda.
You got over being a woman.
I got over
Congrats.
being a woman.
We'll do the arm opening again.
New career
Why
in
is it
man.
not working? Oh no.
I opened it faster than you.
Can't do it. Oh, I can't even open this thing at all.
Great.
You want me to open it for you? No, ew.
There we go.
Yeah, but I wish they had that
Security.
thing for TikTok.
Hold up. 3 lines. Click on the security tab. 3 lines.
I don't know if there's lime in here.
So I don't see that one.
It does taste like green apple candy.
I don't smell any lime.
Water? Inverted.
Perhaps I must go
inverted
to settings.
cane sugar.
Inverted.
What the fuck does that mean?
What's inverted?
The cane sugar.
Inverted cane sugar? They flipped it inside out. That's pretty simple.
Took the cane sugar and they flipped it.
Access data. There's no access data button.
They're lying to you. Sorry.
Anyways.
What was it saying? I can't remember what it's saying.
It knows.
It knows.
You will find Monday an especially important day.
That's I'm. I am soon going to change my line of work. That sounds nice.
That's interesting, considering you just got a job that you talk about not liking that much.
Well, I don't know what the fuck else I would do.
We'll find out.
Silence is full of answers. I'm done talking for this episode. You'll know what I'm saying.
That's the end of Gus.
We're just a telepathy episode. But yeah, I think the niche thing is interesting with like anime and TikTok, because that's where I see like there's not really anywhere else you can find shoujo recommendations or like shoujo.
Then TikTok?
Yeah.
I don't be getting shoujo recommendations.
Yeah, well, I do. So this is my conversation.
I don't really get all that many anime TikToks.
I do. I have a ton.
I go through waves, I think. There will be times where I get a lot. Especially considering that I follow a lot of anime creators.
Yeah.
You on the Clash Royale TikTok?
Every time I see one, I save it because they're always so funny.
You be on Philip No Skills TikTok?
I am not.
That's the Spanish guy?
I am not on the.
Actually do not speak Spanish, but I'd be watching his TikToks all the way through.
I'm weirdly on a lot of Spanish TikToks.
That's like I've noticed that. It's very weird.
I think it was because a lot of Spanish creators make anime edits.
Yeah, anime is very big, and it's not Spain. It's in Central, South, and Mexico.
Yeah, I get a lot of those again.
Central and South
Loser.
America.
I get a lot of those.
Why?
Let me pull out these random facts. I get a lot of those like
Not your ass.
random trivia facts. No longer a man's job. Nicole is taking that on herself.
It's all on me.
But no, I get a lot of those creators that just make anime edits, and I like those. And some of them I save because they're super sick. And
you be getting the anime edits where they have like some question that is not true. And wait, no, I get like movie clips, and it's like some bizarre statement, and then a clip of a movie, and it got like that robotic voiceover, and I'm like,
I hate
this doesn't seem true.
I hate the new voiceover with that like grouchy dude who's like, you wouldn't believe
isn't that
what happens next in this video, and I'm like, shut up. I fucking hate those. Oh my god.
They're so funny.
TikTok, even though I still spend 12 hours plus a week on TikTok, that voice has been the downfall. Yeah. I fucking hate every time I get
you guys aren't getting emotional romance shoujo edits.
No, we are not.
To like a Mitski song.
You know, oh my god. I have recently found the best, because anime TikTok, I've basically, since I got TikTok, I've seen like the different trends that anime TikTok has gone through.
Oh yeah, we all have.
And there's been some really bad ones.
Oh yeah.
And there's been some good ones. But I'm here to say, there's a new best video format for anime TikTok. And it is coldest or dopest manga name drop panels. And it is
I am missing out.
It is edited panels from manga where they just name drop the like
you're like,
word.
That's right.
It'll be like the villain side of it. It'll be like
One Piece.
It'll be like Thorfinn, and he's like, I'm about to Vinland Saga. Oh my god, that was so funny. Some of them are just like dumb, like they'll be Kaneki, and it'll be like, I guess I am now the Tokyo Ghoul. And then
that's still not bad. That's still pretty good.
I saw like what was it? There's like, it's the ones where the titles don't fit at all.
The Jujutsu Kaisen one is funny.
I'm gonna Jujutsu Kaisen. Yeah. It's gonna be a long while until anime TikTok can come up with a better one than that. Oh yeah, that's.
Love an anime TikTok meme.
Right now, in the sparse moments of my day where I'm not working or playing Elden Ring, I am on TikTok getting Elden Ring TikToks now.
Sounds fun.
I know motherfuckers that are playing Elden Ring. They're on the grind.
I was like, I won't play it that much. Like, I can.
It looks so good.
It is, not only is it so good.
You found the Berserk sword?
I have the Berserk sword. The problem is, I don't have 30 strength, so I can't use it.
Embarrassing.
It's so without spoiling what actually happens. In the classic Souls game style, the first thing that happens is you basically get rocked by a boss, and you can't do anything about it. But some people, obviously not me, because the funny thing is, it's like the exact same combat style. It's like Dark Souls. Like,
from what I've heard, it's like a little bit different. I think people are comparing it to Bloodborne.
Not like, I just mean like the mechanics. Like
yeah.
And so one of my friends who was way too good at those damn games actually beat the first boss that is supposed to just absolutely demolish you, because most people come in and they're like, oh, I don't really know how to play the game. And he came in and he was like, I'm already good. And so he beat the boss with like the starting weapon. And it gave him these two, because you're not supposed to be able to beat him. So he got like this decorative sword and like something else that he can't use, but he can just have because he beat the thing that you're not supposed to beat.
It's funny. That's
for the
funny.
collection.
But yeah, I've been playing way too much of that lately.
Yeah. I think it's easy when, like, because this is going back to the thing about people binging a lot of anime for a while and then not watching a lot at all. I think it's so easy to fall into a pattern of, like, when you first, like, really start liking something, you want to do it all the time, you know?
Especially if you have easy access to it.
Yeah, exactly.
Thinking about video games, it's like, when I think back to, like, all the random games that, like, I know you just play, like, Rainbow Six Siege, and then, like...
Well, kind of, but also, like, if you look at my Steam, like, I've got so many games that I just never play.
Yeah.
But I just get them because I was like...
Like, the amount of just, like, different eras that the motherfuckers on Discord be going through. It's like... people were playing Monster Hunter for a while, and then, like, people playing Apex Legends, and just, like, every game... everyone was playing it for, like
I even remember...
hours every week.
Remember when we were in the Pixelmon...
Oh my god,
grind?
yeah. It was like, actually, people were doing it like 6 hours a day.
Every
day.
There were, like, every time I looked, there was someone in
Those
Pixelmon.
are the motherfuckers that be grinding. People still be playing Lost Ark. I know someone who's averaged 10 hours a day since launch.
Holy shit.
Actually just, like, built wrong.
That's too much.
See, I'm definitely going to start putting more time into Siege, because for a while, I don't know if I shit on it on this podcast, but for a while it was like so bad. I was getting cheaters in like on my low elo account. I was getting cheaters in like casual matches, like silver casual matches. There were cheaters, and it was abysmal.
Fun.
Because there was always like a little bit of a cheater problem, but it was always in like champion ranked games.
Yeah.
Like that's the only place it mattered. Why would you cheat anywhere else?
Yeah.
And then it got really bad, and Ubisoft and Rainbow Six never, like, they basically didn't say anything. Like, people were like, there were, so, you know, the operator Maverick that has the blowtorch that can go through walls? There was a cheat out where it was Buck's underbarrel shotgun, but it shot Maverick torch bullets. And so it was like a shotgun that could put holes in reinforced walls. And there was a clip of or a hilarious like tweet that was going around on Twitter where some guy tagged Rainbow Six support in his thing, and he said, "Can you explain this?" And it was an Ash that was shooting buck shotgun bullets out of her rifle and walling, so just like shooting people through the floor. And Rainbow Six like help or whatever responded to their thing and said, "I'm not sure what the issue is. Can you please explain it to us?" And it was like clearly a video of some shit that should not be in the game, and it was going so downhill, and people were like pros were not playing outside of games. The people who weren't professional but were like the top of the ranked stuff were just like, I haven't played in like a week or something. And Siege was just like, they didn't say anything. other than like pushing, like invite and everything. They were like, Siege Invitational is coming along, come on. And all the comments on the post were like, fix the damn game. And then randomly, apparently, they were just working on it the whole time.
Yeah.
And not only did they like update it, but they didn't even tell anyone. It was just all of a sudden people on Twitter were like,
where are the cheaters?
They were like, I haven't seen a cheater in a while. And all of a sudden it was like, what is this manual ban? Like, it used to always say banned by BattleEye in the top corner. And now every once in a while you'll just see banned for cheating. And they're like manually banning people. And I think it was good because by not doing like the Call of Duty or, stuff where they're like, Valorant, like, this is our new anti-cheat, this is what it is, blah, 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 which to the cheaters is just like, oh.
I mean, to be honest, like, cheating in Riot games is, like, way lower than other games. But, like, they did release their own software for it that's required to play.
But with that, at least you, like, know what the software is. And so if you really wanted to cheat it, they're sort of telling you what the software is.
Sure.
No one really knows yet what Siege's the new anti-cheat is, which is awesome because no one can get by it because no one knows what's going on. I wish, other than they said a little bit, they were like, there's a new anti-cheat. And everyone was like, what? Like, I thought you would milk the hell out. Like, you went from probably the most cheated popular current game to, like, a
CS:GO?
normal game again. Oh my god. CSGO, I gotta talk about CSGO. What is the ranking system? Because I don't know, how does League work to get ranked?
You play 10 placement games, you get placed, and then...
You can go up or down from there?
Yeah.
So Siege is similar. You play 10 placement games, and at the end of those you get put in a rank, and then you can still go up or down. CSGO, you've got some amount of matches you have to play. And it'll tell you. Like, you'll finish a game, it'll say, not ranked. 2 more matches left before you get ranked. However, it's not 2 more matches. I've been ranked and then unranked, like, probably 6 times. Every once in a while, I'll be unranked, I'll join a game, and it'll be like, you are Silver Elite. And then I'll leave the match, and it'll be like, we were kidding. And I'll just be unranked again. And it's like, what?
Interesting.
And no one knows. And that's how they're like, I think it's how they've avoided it being exploited. Like, it really, other than the, like, bottom level that people know, that if you want to get ranked really high, you basically can't lose.
Yeah.
Like, each win counts for, like, 1/10 of a loss. And so,
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's stupid.
I know one of my friends got Global Elite in CSGO. And he was on a 24-game win streak before he got it. And then he lost 2, and he lost it. Like,
fun.
It just sounds so abysmal to get those ranks.
Yeah, see, that's something I don't put time into. I'm not a gamer.
What are you ranked in Osu Taiko?
I don't know. I ain't paying attention. I'm just trying to beat, like, 2 different maps right now. I'm trying to full combo them. They really annoy me.
I'm trying to full combo my physics exams. Let's go.
Osu Taiko players when they get to school. Osu Taiko is when they get to school being surprised when their grade is higher than they thought it would be. Because a C is up to a 90 in Osu Taiko.
Oh, man.
And then a B, you get like 89 to like 95. And you only get an A if you full combo under 95, and you get an S if you full combo over 95. Yeah. It's fun though. I enjoy it.
I have to think about it. I think the normal Osu ranking is a lot like what our schools were.
Our schools? Oh yeah, like the grade. Yeah.
Like, yeah.
We should get ranked in school.
School was exactly like Osu.
Me when I accidentally mess up a few times and have to restart from the beginning.
When it just makes a sound and you have to restart your gear.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's interesting because I know that there's a lot of girls that do put a lot of time into gaming and stuff. But I just can't motivate myself.
What do you think? Do you think it's all gaming in general?
It's just like I don't have like I know I'm someone that gets really caught up in stuff. Like if I start doing it, I'm gonna do it for like 5 hours. Because I'm bad at stopping.
In that regard, you're just like most gamers.
Yeah, I know, and that's why I'm like I don't want to do it because I don't want to have something eat up every.
Is it just enough self-control, or is it that you see the games as like a bad use of time?
No, it's like I feel like time would pass too fast. You know, like when you're doing something like that, when you're playing a game, time goes so fast. Like when you look up and you're like, oh shit, it's 2 hours later. And you thought it feels like maybe like half an hour.
Is that inherently like a bad thing? Because you still had 2 hours of fun.
I'd be time skipping.
I don't know. Like, I don't know. Like
when the 9 p.m. time skip and warping till midnight.
Like it's good when you have nothing to do and you just need to pass time. But like especially as I like when you work more.
Nothing to do?
But like,
trust me, I got things to do. I definitely have things that I need to do.
Ignoring that shit.
I just need not worrying about it.
Starts with Elden, ends with Ring. That's what I need to do.
But like, once if I have if I have a day off work, I don't want to spend the entire day playing something. You know.
You know, but there's time in between matches. Like,
yeah, but
I'd be grinding out a paper,
and
I'd be, you know, I hit that. Just typed a sentence, so I get my 2-hour Apex Legends break. It balances out, you know?
But see, I want to go somewhere in the real world.
See, I don't have to worry about that until recently, because today I went outside and I was not instantly depressed because it was freezing cold.
That's true.
The temperature is rising.
It's really changing shit.
Yeah.
And I'd be thinking like, damn.
I'm thinking about how in like a month I can go outside during my break at work. And I won't feel like such a capitalist slave.
What? Why would you go outside during your break?
So I don't feel like a capitalist slave.
You just gotta get used to it.
I work for Bezos, bro. I need a break.
Nah, look at your bottle cap again. You better get a permanent break.
You better find a new job.
You better get a permanent break.
Are they gonna fire me? Bro, the attendance policy is fucking horrendous.
What is it?
It's, you have 6 points, right? Every
this already
lateness
sounds like Amazon.
or absence is a point.
So you might as well not show up.
That's stupid. If I'm going to be late, I would just not go.
At 6, you are fired. Also, if you call in...
Can you get back points?
After 6 months.
Oh, so you got a day off a month.
No, you got 5 days off a month.
Yeah. No, wait.
No.
Wow. That would you get fired after 1 month.
But also, if you call in improperly is you don't call in an hour before your shift.
That's all you have to give them for heads up?
An hour before your shift if you're calling in sick. And if the store is closed an hour before your shift, you have to call again after the store opens to make sure they got your message. But if you don't do that, if you're even like a minute late, they will say that's 2 points. Yeah. So
why are you working there? This is what I don't get.
Because I take every job I get.
Here's the thing that I've talked to lots of people who have had jobs.
No
obviously.
Way.
And
I believe I have as well.
I've also talked to a lot of people
as most of us have. And you probably know that there's some people that all they do is just complain about their job. But I'm always so confused why they aren't talking about like pursuing something else.
My thing is I don't feel qualified for anything else.
Here's the thing, you are.
I don't think that's true.
You're not, but it doesn't matter because if you get a job, you'll become qualified.
Yeah, but I'm not a good bullshitter. I'm not a terrible liar. I can lie pretty well. But I'm not good at
right now.
Here's what you need.
About what? Remember when we played whatever that game was?
She's really bad at bullshitting. She was right.
Damn.
No.
I really do remembering when we played that game.
When we were at your cabin in the beginning of the summer. At the lake, and it was the lying game where you like write shit and you try to make people believe.
Boulder Dash?
Yeah, and I kept tricking you. I think that means I'm a good liar.
Maybe. What was...
And people kept thinking my answers were your dad's.
What was that joke that I tried to get on you over text? that at first I was like, yes, she fell for it, but then you somehow fell for it so good that you ruined the joke. What was that? What do you call that when you... What do you call it when you tell someone that something happened, but it didn't really?
A lie?
No, or like...
I'd be doing that.
No.
People be asking me stuff, and then I just be like, yeah, blah, blah, blah. And they're like,
that.
Really? And I'm like, no, I made that up.
What is this word? It was how I started the joke.
Oh, shit.
Because remember, I was telling you, like, no, I swear I've told it to you before. And then I was like, I definitely have.
It was a good joke once you told me what the joke was.
What do you call that? That action.
What the joke was. I can't remember what it was.
I think it was recent enough that it's still on here.
You're going to have to scroll up. But I'm just like a very gullible person, though. I always have been. Like, remember when people would be like... Remember in, like, elementary school, people would tell a joke and they'd be like, look, so gullible on the ceiling.
Bro, you were the bitch that was like, no way. No way.
Yeah, because no one ever fucking lied to me. I was never lied to. People would just be telling me things and I'd be like, oh, you said it. It must be true.
Yeah. You just gotta get a job that's, like, interesting, I feel like.
Yeah. Yeah, I just, like, every job I've had has made me fucking... And, like, the other thing is, like, I'm scared of having a more qualified position because I am terrified of, like, people relying on me and me not, like, being able to follow through. Or, like, being bad at my job. I'm really scared of being bad at my job, bro.
I remember the joke now. Joke explained. So,
you had to explain it to me.
Peter Griffin explains the joke.
So you'll probably catch on to this really fast. I said, hey, do you know the joke about the gas lighter? But I just put a space in him, so it was gas lighter. And Nicole said, no. And I said, really? And I said, really? I swear I told you it before. And you said, no, I don't think so. And that's the joke, the point has happened right there. That's the funny. But then I said, no, I'm really certain you know it. And you were like, no, I don't. And I was like, no, I definitely told you. Why are you saying that you don't remember this joke? I legitimately told you it just yesterday. It was the most miserable. At first I was like, haha, I'm going to get her with this joke. And the minute that she responded a second time to it, I was like, it was so sad as I could have kept going forever.
I wouldn't have gotten.
And then I said, no, look at the first thing I said. And you were like, hey, question mark? And I was like, no, the start of the joke. And you were like, yeah? And I was like, look at the last word. And you were like, lighter. And I was like, oh God! It was miserable. It was going to be so funny, and then it was not. And then even when I explained it, you were like, oh.
You can't have complex jokes like that. There's the easy way. You just have someone ask you something, and then you just reply so confidently that they're like, oh, this person knows what they're talking about. And then they're like,
I'm
really?
good at, like, lying about, like, little things. And, like, I be lying to customers sometimes. I just be, like, making shit up. I'm like, this and this and this about my life. And they're like, oh, yeah, me too. And I'm like, because it's funny. And then I'm like, oh my God, I love this. I don't. I'm like, this is so cute.
Narrator. She did not.
She did not.
That was me at Urban Outfitters. I'd be like, this is so cute. And it was never so cute.
Let's switch up. Well, not switch up.
Whoa. We switching spots?
Get a little bit personal.
We're playing
musical chairs. We're playing musical chairs. Jack was the one that reminded me of this recently. Because a couple days ago, it was like 2-3 days ago, he went into his room late at night, and he had like school early, and he was up like hella late. And he sat down in his bed, and he just heard and felt like a chunk. And it was like super late, and he didn't want to deal with it. So he just put some like blankets on the floor and just slept on the ground.
That happened twice now? Hasn't he broken his bed twice?
Well, he's broken it twice.
Didn't he break Kate's bed?
No, he broke his.
Okay.
His has broken twice. Well, it was a different one each time. But
does that mean he has a new bed and you don't?
he did get a new one. And
How long have you had that bed?
That was the bed that I actually have never had a different one other than the crib that I was in as a baby. I still am actually, it has changed. They were too lazy to throw out his mattress when he got a new bed while I was gone this summer, and so they stacked it on top of mine. You know the fairy tale about the princess and the pea? You know that?
Yeah.
So I was like, as a kid, I was like, no way could she feel that pee all the way through. And now I'll be sitting there on my 2 stacked mattresses, and I'm like, this bitch leaning a little bit to the left. And every night I fall asleep.
IRL princess.
Every night I fall asleep, and I'm like, I'm gonna roll off. And I haven't rolled off yet, but it's so uncomfortable because it's
Who's gonna be building an actual crib in there so you don't roll off?
But where I'm going with this is, do you guys have like every night when you know, if you're done playing a game, reading a book, whatever, do you have like things that you have to do every
you think
like?
I read a book before?
I don't know.
I'd be looking at TikTok, then I put my phone down and I go to sleep.
Watching anime.
Well, no,
I don't have like anything that I need to do.
No, I just mean like, is there something that has to be?
There are things that I require.
Yeah. So what are those things?
So I require the fan being on.
Okay.
Like actually, one time I forgot that to turn the fan on because I was like, I don't know, doing something else, and I was laying in bed and I was like, something's wrong. Something's missing. And recently, I gotta have the eye mask on. I don't know why.
The eye mask is goated.
Yeah, I want to get a silk one.
Have you gotten a weighted one? Because I had a weighted one. I'm so mad that I lost it. I had a weighted one for a while, and it like had shit in it, so I could put it in the fridge before I was going to sleep. I could like make it cold, not freezing, but just cold.
Like good for your eyes, good for your skin.
Maybe.
Actually,
I don't
really notice it. Mine's like I like the like. It's just like there. But the thing is, like, you think you want it to like in the morning, the sun doesn't wake you up. Except when I wake up, my mask is not on my head because I roll around when I sleep.
Yeah. So I guess I don't think I roll around that much. I just know like they don't stay on. I maybe just move around a little bit.
I roll around a lot. I know this.
Here's the thing with the weighted one. Have any of you guys ever tried a weighted blanket?
Oh yeah.
How heavy?
I don't know. I wasn't looking at the pounds.
Bro, right now I have one like blanket that you'd have on your couch. That is the only blanket.
What do you think? You a duvet?
Like literally, if you look, there's like the blue blanket on the couch. I have that blanket.
Okay. Because I've got my dad got one a couple years ago, and then he like doesn't use it all the time, and so there was one night where I was like, I want to try this shit, and I went to like ball it up from like the corner and put it, that's okay. His is like I think it's 50 pounds.
The
like,
fuck? That would smother me in my sleep. I would not be able to breathe.
But that's the thing. Turns out, I want that. I want to be
lack of oxygen. You fall asleep fast.
Well, obviously I don't have the blanket like up over my head.
Dude's into asphyxiation.
If I can like be laying there and just be.
Maybe I gotta get one of those.
I think I need 100 pounds.
But no, just the feeling of like, it's really annoying me that this is not tight. There we go.
How the fuck do you know it wasn't tight?
Here's the same one.
What do you mean? So he could just detect it when it's not fully sealed?
No, let her explain herself. Go. What was your thought process?
I don't know.
He just knows?
You have the same one and you look at it more, so you would know.
He speaks the language? If he talks,
I have the gap memorized.
He was like, wait, this length, something's up. Something's wrong.
Something is too long here. What was I talking about? The weighted blanket.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Be like the feeling, you know, normally you could like move a little bit, do a little shimmy in your sleep.
Yeah. I'd be doing like, I don't know, the tango.
Yeah. If you can't, and you know you can't, but you also know that like you're not like tied to the bed. Because if I was tied, I mean, I think I could fall asleep if I was just like strapped.
You're exposing yourself.
How hot are the like the weighted blankets?
They're like, okay, so remember, I have half attic, half window, Yeah. And no heating to my room.
See, I live in an apartment with no heating, and I still like having a leg out. I get hot. I like to cool down.
I like being cold, so that's why I'm like...
I always sleep so much better when I'm cold.
I can't be sweating.
I want to be cold outside, but I want to be cozy.
How many layers do you guys, like, what do you sleep in?
Usually like a t-shirt and boxers.
Anything from long underwear and jeans to completely naked. Literally, it just depends on how lazy I am.
Yeah. In the summer, I sleep naked sometimes.
But
I don't like it. It has a weird... It feels weird.
Really?
I don't like it, no.
I feel like it would be more normal for you guys, because I can, like... I either have to be... We're going there. I either have to be in just underwear or naked, like either of those two. It's got to be one of those two, otherwise I can't sleep. But it, like... Sometimes that should be like sticking to your leg a little bit. And so you gotta...
Bro, I've slept like actually fully clothed. I've like, you know, people are like, people who sleep naked aren't ready for anything. I'd be the one that's prepared. Well, it's like flip a coin. Sometimes, if there's a fire, I'll be able to move everything out of my house before the house burns down.
But what are you prepared for?
A fire.
Like a fire?
I'm prepared for...
Life.
Bed, because I don't have to take my clothes off.
But like, because to the people who say that, like,
I think it's fire. I think that's the main thing.
Yeah, but
I'm not scared of fire because sometimes I'll be sleeping naked.
I'm more naked when I'm just like chilling in my house than going to sleep.
So you layer up.
I'm taking my pants off when I overheat in my chair.
I do like no pants. Sometimes I do no shirt, and then I'm like, I should close my curtains. It takes a while for me to remember
I do
that.
So the problem with my chair is that it's not like the fuzzy that yours is. It's kind of like that fake leather. So when I sit there in just my underwear, I got like half an inch of thigh that gets super sweaty and stuck to it.
Holy shit! You don't even going to public school, sitting on those chairs, wearing a skirt. At the end of each class, I'd be like unsticking each thigh. That was miserable. It would hurt.
I'll be doing that in pants.
You know the orange chair? The orange chair?
Yeah.
Those ones at my house that are like the vinyl?
Yeah.
For like a while, I had those. And like, in the summer, in my room, it would get boiling hot. And I would just be like, actually thighs sealed to the chair.
I think there's nothing, like, chilling with no clothes is actually lit. I would, like, okay, I wouldn't, like, join a nudist colony, and I don't think I would enjoy, like, I think even, like, a nude beach would make me uncomfortable. But I do...
When I was little, my parents accidentally brought me to a nude beach. I think there's, like, this hilarious picture of me at the beach, and there's just, like, naked people in the far background.
When I went to France with my family in, like, 7th grade, all the beaches there, it's, like, legal to just, like, have your titties out.
So, I want to talk naked beaches for a moment. Because...
Nudist beach!
Because if you remember, where I was working this summer was, like, crazy hippie. Like, the lake was spiritual.
Peak. And
they also thought it was connected to the top of the mountain, and it was a portal, and if you go through, you can end up at the top of the mountain. We won't get into that stuff, but...
I'm a believer.
Lots of people... I think it was also the only, like, nude beach or nude public area in the area. So, consistently, every morning, I would wake up, get out of my tent, walk down, eat breakfast, get in the rowboat to go out and take samples, and there would consistently be, like, at least 5 naked elderly people, either swimming, sitting on the beach, or just about. And throughout the course of the day, just more naked people. Just so many naked people.
So fun.
But at the end of the trip, I was talking with one of my friends who was up there, and he was like, it's kind of weird that, be like, everyone comes up to Castle Lake naked, and, no one here ever, like, skinny dips in the lake. And we're like, yeah, that's pretty weird. And then we were doing night zooplankton at, like, 11:30, and it was kind of cold as fuck, too. I think it was not warm. And I'm, like, pouring the last little bottle of zooplankton into the shit, and I just hear a sploosh. Because it's dark and smoky, and so my headlamp, I can only see the shit in front of me. And I look over at where he just was, and there is a pile of clothes, and he's not there anymore. And he was like, let's go! And I was like, all right, fuck it, we doing this. And that was, for one, cold as shit. Skinny dipping in cold water is miserable.
Yeah.
But I can kind of see how if you've done it, once you've done it like once,
yeah,
I can see how those people are just like,
fuck
I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, I skinny dipped in Lake Nokomis. Except it
That
was
is
like
disgusting.
it was 1 a.m. It was. I kept my underwear on. I was like, I'm not doing that. I'm gonna get a UTI.
Like Nokomis, you're gonna get one even with underwear on.
Yeah. It was
You're
interesting.
getting taken over by a parasite.
Somehow I survived.
Like Nokomis is where that shit from Attack on Titan lives.
Somehow I survived. I did make it. Yeah. I think it'd be fun though. It's interesting, like I feel like the one thing about a nudist beach, or like
The one thing.
No, now I'm thinking about Kill la Kill. Is like pulling up there as a woman, like I feel like you're just gonna see some dudes that are just like unashamedly hard.
Maybe.
It depends on what kind of beach it is.
But yeah, I also think that the dudes who would like go somewhere to like peep on women aren't comfortable enough to like.
I don't know.
I don't
know.
Or even like comfortable enough to be that, because the thing with a beach is in the name is beach. Like you're not hiding
That's
somewhere.
true.
Like if you're there, you gotta be fully in the open.
That's true.
Because I can see there was an issue where I was working the year before, where there was some guy like way up in the bushes with binoculars, and people were like, there were like people who walked over and they're like, you should do something about it. And we're like, we're not even the park service. We just have a lab here. I don't know what you want us to do. But at the same time, like, I don't even know what they could have done. Like, legally, I think it's at a nudist beach.
If he's not nude, it's probably not legal.
Is it?
I think
Well, it's not like
watching.
It's,
He just chilling in the bushes with no clothes on.
no, he had clothes on.
Yeah, I don't think that's legal at that point.
But what could be the law? Because it wasn't like, obviously we could work there.
I don't know what the law is, but I don't know.
No eye contact with naked people if you
with
have
naked.
clothes on.
It's assassin's rules. You need to have both be naked to shoot each other.
You can either both be naked or both be clothed.
Yeah, I feel like I'm more chilling with like there's a lot of hot springs that are like up in mountains in like California, but also in like Colorado and I don't know, all the places that have hot springs. And I feel like, and those are like, they're like clothes optional, and I'd be more chill with that.
I feel like that would be a lot more fun.
Yeah, because it's not like you're like, everyone look.
Well, that was the one thing too, is like, I don't know if I went to a nudist beach, I feel like I would, most of my time would be in the water.
Yeah.
Like, while I don't really give a shit, I'm not just gonna walk
running
around. I would be like, woo, woo, woo.
Yeah.
Because in the same token, like, I don't know, maybe I would lie on a towel, but I even feel like I'd, like the same way that I would do for like a massage, like I'd still cover it with a towel. Not even for myself,
like,
but
a
for
little
like,
bit of modesty.
but for like my other people, I feel like.
Yeah. I don't know. Dudes in France do not give a fuck. There's some old guys just like laying there on their backs.
Any country where jorts are like a thing that people wear, I feel like it goes hand in hand with nudity.
That's true.
If
That's
you will put on jorts, you will also take off your jorts.
Jorts are a very removable clothing item, I guess.
I feel like that's not true.
Jorts are very unmovable when you're wearing them, bro.
You gotta like shimmy them off.
Especially when you're
putting on a
wet.
little
Imagine
show.
being kind of damp and having jorts on.
No, you don't understand. Denim shorts are the uniform for women. That shit is uncomfortable.
We gotta go to a hot spring.
Yeah, I'm down. That
Fashion,
sounds fun.
fashion question for you.
Yeah.
To go with what you just said, because I'm always curious.
Yeah.
Why do so many women wear things that seem so obviously uncomfortable, and then they complain about them?
Well.
Not in like a haha women complain, but in like a
women stop complaining.
but in like a why, if you could put on something that you wouldn't complain about.
Well, I feel like I'm not a super good authority on this because I'm not an uncomfortable clothing wearing kind of person. I just kind of be wearing shit that's comfortable. If it's uncomfortable, I'm like, this feels weird, and I take it off and change it to something more comfortable. But I think, like...
What about, like, heels?
I don't wear heels. But I like a little platform sometimes. Because platforms are the toned-down version of heels.
Heels, but not inherently
heels,
painful.
But it's a flat surface.
Yeah.
I have a shoe story. Quickly. I was the other day.
You interrupted his own question.
I know. I will.
He said,
"You will get back to
women
this."
Don't matter. I decided they can deal with it.
No, but the shoe reminded me of this. It'll be quick because not much happened. But the other day for work, I was like, I always wear like my La Sportivas because I'm like, I want to be comfortable when I stand for all this time.
Are those the La Sportivas that are like
the ones I've had since middle school?
Okay.
Yeah, somewhere those.
Yeah.
It's impressive your feet have not changed size at
No,
all.
they were big. My mom was like, "You will grow into these." But so I was like, I put on a pair of these. Like, we've got a closet right behind the piano.
Yeah.
That's got all these just different leather shoes. And I put on a pair of them. They were like kind of slippers, and I was like, these dudes are like so comfy. Like I was like, actually felt like someone was like sitting there massaging my feet while I was wearing them. They were so comfortable. And I was like, yeah, I'm wearing these. And then flash forward 3 hours into my shift. I'm standing there and I'm like, this heel feels like I'm stepping on something. Like there's something under my shoe that I'm feeling through the shoe. No, in fact, it was the entire sole of the shoe disintegrating as I stood there. And I had to call Jack, and he had to drive over with my La Sportivas and bring them to me because I was standing there with a shoe that was just falling apart.
I've had a boot fall apart on me before. Because the only time, so I'm a person that does not spend, like if I have to spend more than like $20 on shoes, I'm like, that was an expensive shoe. Because I'd be thrifting it all. I find everything for super cheap. But...
How you still broke?
Because I like the large volumes. And I'm Nicole. I'm bad at money. But the thing that I always get that I never fucking wear is I like a heeled slate platform boot. And then this summer, I was like, I'm gonna finally wear one of my pairs of them, and I'm gonna go have a day, and I don't care if my feet fucking hurt because I'm mad and they're cute.
Have a day.
I went to the art museum. It was cute. I went to the art museum and I got coffee, and it was lovely. But like on my way home, the sole in the front of it just fucking fell off, and I was like walking from the bus stop back to my house with like it was like flopping as I walked. Very pleasant.
Be like that.
Yeah.
Continue the women wearing uncomfortable things.
Yeah. So I think part of it is like sometimes like you just put on something uncomfortable and you're like, damn, I look good. And then you're like, I'm just gonna keep wearing this. Even if it hurts a bit. It's temporary. And I feel pretty.
Climbing shoes.
Because also
blister I got wearing those, brutal.
Oh my,
those, I don't know why your mom's climbing shoes fit me so well. It's really weird.
So I went out the other day and I got another pair of climbing shoes.
Nicole bad with money. This motherfucker.
Hey, it was an REI, so they pay me 20% back later.
Do you have your own REI membership?
Yes.
Me too.
You thought you'd get me with that, didn't you?
Peak adult moment when you have your own REI membership.
I'm still mid adult.
There was this one.
You haven't leveled up yet.
There's this one pair that was like the most expensive one that out of all the ones that I was like looking at, and all the reviews for it was like, this is a comfortable shoe, and I was like, nah. They mean
I need
like,
to feel bad.
I was like, they mean comparatively, and I was like, going to REI, like gonna try on some of them, and I reluctantly grabbed one of the boxes, and I'm like, maybe I'll try it on. I know why they charge so much for it, and it's because they know if you put that on, you will buy it. Because I put it on, and it was a climbing shoe, and it fit. It was tight. I could stand on the tiny little thing, but it actually felt like more comfortable than having bare feet.
Wait, why is buying climbing shoes like buying point shoes for ballet.
They even have at REI. They got this little on the side of the thing. They got a little fake hole that you can step on to see if you can like actually put your weight on it.
I'm just picturing you trying to stand. I'm sorry.
Especially at that REI because the climbing section is right where everyone comes in, and there's always like only climbers are there, so it's not super busy compared to the rest. So there's all these people walking in, and I've got my pants rolled up to like my knee, 2 different weird looking shoes on, and I'm trying to stand on this tiny little thing on the side of one of the shelves, and I'll like put my weight on it, and I'll go sit down and put another one on, and then I'll put my weight on again. I'm like, these people think I'm crazy.
Yeah. Shoes, clothes, etc.
All of it.
All those things.
You gotta hit me up the next time you go thrifting.
I will.
I wanna go.
Yeah. My thing is when I go with other people, I never end up buying anything. Because I'm like...
I feel that, except that's just every time I go thrifting.
Yeah.
Not with other people, but... Not with other people. I don't know what the hell's happening there. But just in general, like...
Yeah.
The last time I went there, I got 2 things. One was a pair of dress shoes because I didn't have any, and they fit me, and I was like, awesome. And the other was this one pair of pants that Jack told me to get because, I don't know, he was like, get these.
See,
like,
you're not going to the bins.
I want to go to the bins. I haven't been.
I'll take you to the bins.
The bins?
The bins are so fun. I'm actually addicted to the bins.
That shit sounds crazy.
The rush. Bro, they're like wheeling out the carts and everyone's standing in a line on the sides and they're like, you're standing like looking over at the bins and everyone's like running around and they're like, go, and everyone goes, it's insane. It is so crazy. And then I like find good shit and I'm like, okay, I should go home now. It's like 4 p.m. and I've been here for 5 hours. Then I'm like, wait. But I found good shit in the last rotation.
Bin.
And I'm waiting for the next rotation.
How
now.
long is it between rotations?
It's like 15 minutes. Maybe 10.
What's different with the bins versus like just the shit that they put up everywhere else?
Because at the bins, I can buy 14 pounds of clothing for $16.
Oh, that's the one that they weigh it.
Yeah.
And it's the one where they got in the bins.
Where you dig. Where you dig
all,
like a
all
little
I can
rodent.
think of is the 10-cent bin at like Dreamers. Where you dig through all the cards.
It's a digger.
I would buy so many more clothes.
So,
I think I'm just gonna pull up.
Yeah. Yeah. Your brother goes to the bins, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting. The 2 people that thrift often are both broke and owe me money. Interesting. Interesting how this plays out.
It's an addiction, bro. I went for the first time again the other day, and I was having like a really depressing day, and I like found the best shit, and I was like, life's okay, I'm good at something.
I want to go so bad now.
And then the other day, my dad collects, he like buys like mid-century Danish furniture really cheap, and then he sells it. My dad resells. Yeah.
He'd be reselling tables.
Literally.
That's like my grandma found these like $500 chairs for $10.
Bro, my dad has found $1,500 chair for like $100.
My dad has found $2,000.
But anyways, he drove down to Madison and back in one day to pick up a set of chairs and also have lunch with his sister. And that's also where he went to college. So
he made up an excuse. She said, if I'm getting these chairs, I gotta do something to make it sound like a reasonable
way to spend my time. He was like, you want to come and then go to the bins down there? And I was like, do I want to go? And I did. God. And it was lovely. I had a great day, and then I walked from there to a little coffee shop, and I got myself a little matcha, and I sat by the lake. It was a great day. That's my favorite kind of thing. I love having a little day. I love having activities, and I like to go to them, and then I like to go to a different activity, and then I like to go home and feel satisfied.
I never have a day.
You're missing out. It's truly lovely. It is.
I am so excited for winter to be over. Yeah. Holy shit.
I love going on a walk. I love getting a little snack. I love going to a little thrift store, and I love going to a park and reading my little book. It's great. It's super fun.
Sounds like you're trying to be the main character of some children's book.
Children's book?
I'm done trying to be the main character.
I already am, bro.
Oh, I went out for a bike ride today because it was nice.
Is that your day?
That's your day.
No, because I was so horrendously damp the entire time.
Okay, but when you go on a bike ride, if you like stop somewhere and then you keep going, that's a day too. That counts.
No, I'll be stopping somewhere because I
mean like in
actually
general.
at a calorie deficit and I require the gas station Coca-Cola.
The gas station? Holy shit, bro.
You wanna know how I plan
That
rides?
sucks.
Long rides? I literally bring up a map of a bunch of gas stations and then just like connect the dots. I'm like, all right, I can make it 28 miles in between these two gas stations, and then I have to stop and get something. When I did that race last spring, it was like 120 miles down in like Red Wing.
Yeah.
80 miles in, there was a gas station, and my whole train of thought after I hit about the 1.5 hour point was, I'm gonna get to this fucking gas station and I'm gonna get so much food. And then I did, and it was really cold, and they didn't let us sit in the gas station because we were so muddy. And so I was sitting out there shivering with like a gas station hot dog, 2 Cokes, and like 3 Gatorades, and I was just shivering outside this damn gas station.
Man, that sounds like a day.
That was miserable because then I got back on and had to go 40 more miles. God, that was miserable.
Bro, it's not the thing is, it's not self-indulgent enough. A day is self-indulgent. You can also get things you need to get done. I go grocery shopping when I have a day, but it's a fun grocery shop.
When I have a
So
day,
I'm like, look at this lovely hair.
When I go grocery shopping, there's no list. I'm like, okay, what's something I could use? All right, that'll be the one thing that I will get. And then I go and wander around and I'm like, huh, ground beef is $1 off.
Yeah.
I should get 2 pounds.
I'm convinced that if you could go back in time and measure like neuron activation in like Neanderthals and then me when I'm in a grocery store, those are like, actually, you can put them side by side and be like, corporate wants you to tell the difference between these 2 pictures. Like, that is what it would be. I get in there and I'm like,
when I go to United Noodle, I'd be like, I should get this. Then I'm like, no. My like ego is like, get this. And then my unconscious brain is like, slow down.
Dude, I have to do that thing where like other people are shopping and you know the aisles aren't very big, so I'm like looking at something, spending the like 5 minutes that it's gonna take for me to decide if I'm gonna buy this or not, but also like having to be out of the way of other people while I like stare at the cereal aisle and I'm like, I get Cheerios every time. What if I get something else? No, I should.
He thinks you're so slow. They're like, oh, can he read?
I'd be doing the like, no, it's not can I read because I do that I'll like, to use the cereal aisle for an example. The Cheerios are what I always get. But there's more on either side. So
No way.
I like be standing back against the other one until someone has to get there. And I'm like, oh, sorry. But I'd be looking at the Cheerios, and then instead of like, I don't know, I don't want to like walk side to side, so I just sort of like lean way over and like look at what's on the other side, and then I look back at the Cheerios and I look over on the other one and just compare my options. For,
So
like,
the thing I do in grocery stores that I'm trying not to do anymore is that like in thrift stores people don't really give a fuck. So I like in a thrift store I will leave my cart at the end of an aisle and go down the aisle, and I got really used to it. And now I do that in grocery stores sometimes, and it's not as acceptable in grocery stores because people look at you like you're a wandering child.
I only take the hand basket.
Yeah,
that's all I do.
I
and
agree with
sometimes I got like half a gallon of milk and like tortillas and like hella stuff, and I'm like, okay.
It's a right
This
arm
is
workout.
a little bit of a struggle. And because I always get the milk first, because I need milk desperately when I need it, I'm like carrying around like half a gallon of milk and like whatever random stuff I grab from the dairy aisle, which is always like dense as fuck. And I'm like, damn, I'm gonna do 4 more laps of this thing before I decide on the next item to get.
See, I always get a cart because I'm like, the grocery store is usually the last stop when I have a day. So I always have other stuff. And I'm like, I need a cart so I can look like a bag lady and put my stuff in the cart. Because I only take the bus places.
that phrase That phrase is gonna become like a reactionary
A
trigger
day.
for me. If I hear someone say a day, I'm just gonna. It's gonna shut out everything else that they say.
Your little anti-self-indulgence filter inside is just gonna like freak out.
No.
I go to the grocery store so infrequently. I'm like,
oh, me
damn,
too.
I can't
I
cook
was supposed
anything.
to get butter today.
Okay, butter is the one thing. Like sometimes, so I'd be getting bagels, right? And no cream cheese ever because cream cheese
It's so good.
has to be in the fridge.
Let me
That's
put you
true.
onto something. You ever had Hope salted butter?
No.
I have the $2.19 butter for 1 pound.
Okay.
That shit is literally free.
Okay. So, the Hope butter is more expensive. It's like $7.
We're done.
No,
We're
hear
done.
me out. Hear
For
me out.
how much?
Like a big little chunk of it, like
A
boop,
chunk?
boop, 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 like you,
Like
like a brick.
Where the fuck are
is
you
it
going
the
to your
brick one?
butter
Is
and
it
your
the
bread?
brick one? Yeah, fuck that.
So-
Fuck that.
It's
I bet it's organic.
from a little Minnesota farm.
I'm
I'm
looking
already
at Whole
down.
Foods. If they have that and I can get it discounted, I'm getting it.
I don't
Whole
support
Foods
small
ain't cool
businesses.
enough.
Hey, Whole
This-
Foods have small
I
businesses. Has.
Went through half of whatever volume this chunk of butter was in a night, and an entire
Holy
loaf of bread
fuck.
because I needed something to put it on. But
Sometimes bread can go to moldy at my house.
I just don't even get it anymore. I feel
Ugh.
bad. I got bagels. That's all I need.
you have no food.
What I do
I
now-
restocked. I restocked.
I
have
buy
now.
stuff. If I'm buying bread and I'm like, what I've decided is well, if it's bagels, if I get 2 things of bagels, one gets sliced up and goes in the freezer.
Yeah, that's
if it's
fair.
anything that I'm like not gonna eat instantly, it goes in the
Pre-slice it.
freezer.
Yeah, the one kind of bread.
Are you crazy? Do you not understand the physics? How do you slice a frozen bagel? You need like an ice saw. It
No,
doesn't work.
chainsaw.
No, rewind. But you ain't eating them frozen.
You're gonna let it thaw out?
You
What are you on? How much time do you have?
like today. I needed bread. Went down to the freezer. We had a loaf of bread in the freezer. So I pulled it up, beat the daylights out of it on the counter.
I would.
Beat the daylight. What the fuck are you doing to
Anything
the bread?
That's in the freezer, straight out of the freezer into the toaster oven. I'm not delaying anything. All right. Only thing I will
This shit
do.
ain't gonna be cooked.
The only thing that I will thaw is salmon because
Yeah.
if you don't, the outside will be cooked and the inside is raw and disgusting. I had literally frozen ground beef. I thawed it for 5 minutes and then put it into the pan. Realized it was gonna get ruined, and so I chopped it up with a knife. I had like slices of frozen solid ground beef.
Let me tell you, you remember when I would make hamburger helper at our house? And I would
Yeah.
literally, like every 5 minutes, I would have the ground beef sitting in this little bowl of hot water. Every 5 minutes, I would get it a new bowl of hot water because it would make
That's
that
so
shit
much
cold
work. What the fuck?
Again. Yeah, but then it cooks well.
I don't cook meat. I
Oh.
don't think about that. I cook
I-
eggs. And on the eggs, I have to use a chopsticks and get out the little nasty little what you would have been the fetus. You know what I'm talking about? It's a little white thing in there, and it's like a little. You know what I'm talking about?
No.
No, what
I
the
cracked the
fuck is
entire
it?
egg and
Do
maybe
you-
take the shell out if it falls in.
Do you not just go...
I used to, but then there were a couple times where I would eat it and it had texture, and I was like, oh.
You blend
The
it.
raw egg?
You blend your eggs?
Well, like, this I'm not crazy. Yeah.
I'd be putting it in the blender, puree 5 minutes.
No, like either you whisk it
Yeah.
or you fry it, and then it gets a texture where you can't tell.
Well,
if
with
it's
fried
chicken.
eggs, I don't do it. But
Then
when I
like-
make scrambled eggs, I want to make it
Just
super
scramble
smooth. No, because that thing is all chunk stuff.
What?
I'd be making my
You know what I'm
scrambled eggs
talking about,
different.
but my scrambled
Mine
eggs,
gotta
I
be
make
crispy.
I make peak scrambled eggs. I make such good.
I bet you
scrambled
make
eggs.
the Gordon Ramsay style ones, where it's like, is it like a little bit liquidy? Or
Not really. It's like so.
I'd
what
be
I
making
do,
the kind of liquidy ones.
I don't.
They're like in between. So what I do is I just be doing no fucking cream. Who the fuck puts cream in their scrambled eggs?
Nope.
Shame.
Anything
Sometimes I'd be feeling extra rich and I put butter in there.
I'd be
butter in
minimizing
the
the
pan.
amount of steps that anything takes.
I put butter in the pan, but what I do is I just whisk that shit as
Yo,
much
let
as
me
I
put
can.
you onto something.
Let me finish my fucking recipe. Shut the fuck up.
I'm already over.
There's one ingredient.
Scrambled eggs.
So, what I do is...
Let me guess, you scramble them.
No, but there's a trick. You have to have the pan at the lowest heat possible.
Yeah, otherwise you burn them.
And then you just sit there and you whisk it.
In the pan
In
while
the
it's
pan,
cooking?
with like
See,
chopsticks.
that takes more than 30 seconds.
You'd be like, my way requires less work. Nah, I don't turn on the pan. Here's the trick.
I put it in the sun.
Every time.
It stays there all day.
Every time I make scrambled eggs, I shake the shit out of the egg beforehand in hopes that one of these times I'm going to open it and it's going to be a little bit mixed up already. Somehow it doesn't happen. But then you put it in a little bowl, take a fork and you go... Then you put it in the pan and then you start heating up the pan and then...
Yeah, but you have to do it slowly or they're not delicious and
Bro,
fluffy.
the amount of time I've saved over you guys, it's in the fucking weeks.
But they don't taste as good.
Maybe to you. Maybe to you. What I do is...
when I was a kid,
get
my
the
mom
pan
used to
heated.
always burn my fucking scrambled eggs. Not burn them, but they'd be like brown a little bit, and I'd be like...
See, I always hated... I never liked fried eggs. I always wanted no liquid.
Yeah.
And
See,
so
I
now
like
it's
the
like-
liquid, and I like... Okay.
Real
I'm gonna-
talk. You're going to get an egg
I'm gonna get
at a
an egg.
restaurant.
I got some.
How are you asking for your yolk?
I will not be getting egg at a
It
restaurant.
depends on the time of year. If it's
Me in the winter with my over easy egg versus me in the summer. Well,
Oh.
overhard.
I meant day. The time of day. Depends on the time of day.
Right now, you are at a restaurant.
Right now,
You're getting one egg.
I'm gonna get like hard
How
with a
Leaving
little.
the restaurant.
I want it like jammy. Do you know what a jammy egg looks like? Do you know what
I'll
I'm
be
talking
jammied every night. Putting on my jammies. That's a lie. I don't wear jammies.
about? Anyway.
So how about you use English to describe this egg?
That is English. But it's like when it's like these description words.
It's either
don't
over
work.
easy, over hard, or in the middle.
No, if I'm getting like a boiled egg, this is what I'm thinking of.
Who is getting a boiled
Me!
egg? I asked you getting a fried egg.
Oh, you didn't. You just said egg.
Who the fuck?
Well, who would order a boiled egg?
Be like, yes, I would like my egg not hard boiled because that's too normal. Just boil it somehow. I don't
Boil it? I want it to be all liquid still.
Somehow put it in boiling.
Put it in there for like 30
I
seconds.
want it to be the consistency of Jello.
Put it.
I want to be able to go like.
Put it in boiling water, but I don't actually want it cooked. Is that what jammied means?
No, Jamie is like the
Pour
white
boiling water over it.
the white.
Put raw egg on a plate, then you mix it with boiling water.
You just whip it around.
Continue
Oh,
with the
so-
jammied explanation.
Have you ever just cracked an egg into boiling water? That shit's good.
It looks weird.
Yeah.
I hate that.
Okay.
Somehow
Anyways,
the yolk always be like bubbly. I really don't like that.
so
You got fish in your
What?
boiling water?
No. What?
You blowing bubbles.
I want to have a carbonated egg.
ew, I don't want that. I'm okay with not having that.
Oh well.
I want like carbonated soup.
Carbonated milk.
Nitro milk. That's what they call it when you get coffee. that's
Yeah,
carbonated.
yeah. I remember at the state fair they had it.
Nitro
Once I
coffee's
accidentally
pretty good.
ordered nitro coffee. It was the biggest mistake of my fucking life. It was disgusting. It was so bad. I don't like it.
It's pretty
But
good.
anyways, a jammy egg. The white is all cooked. In the middle, it's like half cooked. It's like
It's called over easy.
no. It's like in the middle. It's like dark yellow still. You know, but like it feels kind of cooked, but it's dark yellow.
Over easy.
Sure. But if it's breakfast,
Like if you cut into it, the yolk bleeds everywhere.
Yeah. but not really. It's still like it would stay in place if you cut it in half.
Oh, see, I need that shit to be raw.
No, so that's what I like. If it was a breakfast one,
'Cause then you get
this
to
is.
soak
I
it
don't
all
know how
up.
to say this one without it sounding really pretentious. So,
I need my egg.
no.
Only my
No.
butler can create.
So, my favorite kind of egg in the breakfast time morning
In the breakfast
The
time.
breakfast time.
is. Have you guys ever had egg but with a little egg cup? With a little-
Poached egg.
No, in the cup.
Yeah,
Have
where
you-
you like tap the top
Yeah,
off it
that's
and
not a
eat it with a
poached egg.
spoon.
That's just a boiled egg. It's just not. It's not hard boiled. That's why I just say boiled. I like it like soft boiled with a really runny yolk, and then you have toast and you can dip your toast in there. That's my favorite.
I had that once, and I just put it on my plate.
It's delicious. It's so good, and you scoop it up with a spoon.
I never really liked the runny yolk.
I love a runny yolk.
I didn't. When I was a kid, I hated it.
Yeah.
And now I want the runny yolk to infect as many other things on my
plate as
possible.
It makes everything so good.
Especially bacon, but you wouldn't know.
I like
you know what's so good? Okay, here's my tip. Save the bacon grease and then eggs in it. Yep.
My mom does that. It's good.
Mm-hmm. Life question for you guys.
Yes.
This is for me to
we get into life questions now.
Feel better than you if you get it wrong. You be making bacon. You make bacon.
I be making bacon
You
grease.
be making bacon.
That's the only reason why I cook bacon.
Yep. And you got a bunch of grease afterwards.
Mm-hmm.
What do you do with it?
Put it into a little glass jar.
Yeah. Put it in the freezer.
Yeah.
Then what? Like, does it just...
No, use it for cooking
Put
later.
it in the freezer until you forget about it.
You can
cook with it.
Yeah, there you go.
I made bacon like month 2, and then I didn't cook eggs ever, and then I used it like last week for the first time.
It's good with like if you're making like I don't know who the fuck else is making Brussels sprouts, but it's good with Brussels sprouts.
Brussels sprouts?
You're not having them right.
There are very few. So here's the thing. I know that I had Brussels sprouts wrong. The only time that I've had them. Mm-hmm. I know. But it was so bad that even though I know that they might be better, I will not. Because it was such a repulsive taste.
They're roasted, they're delicious.
Yeah, I used to think that way. Now, like, if I don't like something, then I'll just, like, keep trying it. Like,
yeah.
I want to be able to enjoy every single variety of food.
Yeah.
That's
a good
I think I'm a little bit different because I'm willing to eat.
I'm a little bit different. I'm a little bit different.
I'm willing to eat, I think, pretty much anything. Like, for a first try, I'll give anything a try. But if I don't like it, I'm not going to go back to it.
Yeah.
Like, if I have fucking, I don't know, like kimchi, God, that shit was miserable.
Yeah, I've never had kimchi.
Kimchi's not great. Kimchi's not fantastic.
Kimchi was not that good.
Yeah. I'm a little scared to try not to.
But I love cabbage.
Cabbage is pretty good.
Yeah. Got some cabbage in my fridge.
Okay, things like Brussels sprouts make my piss smell so bad. It's like the same as asparagus.
TBH, I don't be whiffing it. I don't know about this. You be pissed and then you go, woo! It's a real stinker today.
What I feel like, theoretically, obviously, I don't know how the whole body turning shit into piss works. Not shitting into piss.
I wish.
But I feel like if you just drink enough water,
it doesn't help. I've tried. Maybe it's something with my body. Maybe something's going on.
Your body just be making red.
I don't be drinking enough water. That is true.
I drink enough water, definitely.
It's
not even like it's.
My sink doesn't produce water fast enough, so I don't fill my Nalgene up all the way. I fill it up maybe halfway.
I feel like I've ruined water for myself because I am unable to like have a meal and throughout the course of the meal sip from a glass of water.
That's all I can.
Yeah.
Because for me, if there's some volume of water in front of me, that volume, no matter how much it is,
that is
one sip, and then I have to refill it. And so I go super long in between when I have glasses of water when I'm like, say, at a restaurant or something.
Yeah.
Unless they put ice in it. Ice ruins it because then I have to go to. But
a little baby sip.
If it doesn't,
the difference between
can you
people.
charity me some water?
I would also like some.
Bro.
I don't need that much.
This shit been stewing.
However much. You know what is the greatest taste ever? Stale water.
No.
You're coping, bro. I have to have that every morning.
Bro.
Why?
Because I got pills that I have to take.
This
and
is
one of them is
fucking
giant. One of them is like, it's like 20 milligrams. Dude. And it's like a rock. And obviously,
why the fuck is it so big? I take Okay,
no
actually,
idea.
I need a size comparison. I don't know what 20 milligrams is.
It doesn't like. It's not about.
Also,
like
you can keep that.
A little bit.
What is it?
I thought it was an ice cube.
Shut up, bro. Clutch up. It's like half the size of that, kind of.
I was sweeping
Like
at
that
work,
big.
and I thought that was an ice cube, and so I went to do what you do with ice cubes, which is kick them under the nearest thing that could fit something under it. That shit bounced back, and I was like, what?
Yeah, it's a little bit smaller than I thought. It's that big.
That's okay. That's like a hard like swallow. Though.
Except with like
It's a weird
one of the
shape.
hard ones.
Yeah,
And like
it's a weird shape.
yeah. And so obviously I leave my Nalgene out
Yeah.
with 1 inch of water at the bottom. And
Bro.
obviously the top is open.
You know
and it's
what's
in my
so
steaming kitchen.
fucking hard to take without gagging? Pepto-Bismol.
I've never had a Pepto-Bismol.
Like swallowable Pepto-Bismol. It is so hard to
I don't
take.
be
get
gagging.
sick.
I get sick all the time.
Yeah,
I
can
feel
we-
bad all the time.
Can we talk about something that you have reminded me of because it's you?
Yeah.
When we get everyone in person, hopefully by then Daniel will be the only one. Oh, I say hopefully. Hopefully Daniel will be the only one who's gotten COVID.
Yeah.
But hopefully none of us will have gotten it
Yeah.
and have made it, however far over the course of this misery without catching it.
Yeah.
But outside of COVID, because I hear a lot of people talk about like, oh, now every time I get a little bit sick, I'm like worried that it's COVID. This doesn't apply to because I've
True.
never seen you get sick ever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How often do you just like get sick?
Like a cold? I get colds. I don't even know if they're fucking colds. If we're counting like having a stuffed up nose for an undefinable amount of time, a cold.
No, it's just like sinuses.
Because that happens to me a
When
lot.
I say
longer.
sick, I mean like either super high fever or actually throwing.
Yeah, that
up,
doesn't
or,
happen
like-
to me often at all.
I can
Like-
think of like being sick, like there's 2 times that I remember it since middle school. And one of them was because I got the yellow fever vaccine and I had yellow fever and I was absolutely tripping out. You know the black chair in front of the fire at my house?
Yes.
I got that shit, came back, it was like 9 o'clock and dark. I was in that chair, out cold. Actually, like, completely gone.
Yeah.
How bad were you guys' reactions to the
I react really
different
strongly.
vaccines?
I react pretty strongly. Like I was out for a day and a half each time.
COVID ones, the
Yeah.
first one, I was like,
Like my booster, the night of, I was like doing fine the day, and then like that night at like 6 p.m., I got like noon, I started getting chills, and my fever went up. It wasn't like a fever; it was 90 degrees. But I'm very sensitive to like body feelings. It makes me feel, and like I was like, and my skin got really sensitive, which is weird.
I just always, wherever I get the injection, is always really sore.
Yeah.
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
I think I did a little booster shot reaction speed run
Yeah.
because I went straight from getting my booster shot to standing outside in the cold at one of Jack's ski races. And so for me, it was like 3 hours after I got it. I was like,
Yeah.
and then that night was miserable.
Yeah.
But the next day it was pretty much fine.
Yeah.
I mean, you remember we went
Yeah.
climbing that next day.
Yeah.
I remember the only other time that I was sick, it was at like senior year, maybe mountain bike practice. And I got there, and I was freezing cold, even though it was like 60 degrees out, and I was like, yo, guys, I feel kind of cold. So I was like, go home. And I went home, was shivering under my covers for like 2 hours, just pouring sweat. And my sister was in the other room, and she hears me get up, fucking throw up, and then crawl back to my room. She just comes like, you good, bro?
Yeah,
That's-
I really don't get sick very often.
That's
Like-
why I'm glad I don't get food poisoning more often.
I don't think I've ever like
Yeah.
had
Because-
food poisoning.
You are lucky.
Motherfuckers on the Ecuador trip eating mango and then not being able to go whitewater rafting.
No, because, like, okay, the times that I have gotten food poisoning, the many times,
Why the fuck do you get it so much? What are you doing?
I would get it more at, like, races when we would have to eat at, like, restaurants and stuff.
Yeah, I think like
God, there was this one Mexican restaurant that we went to 3 years in a row at this one race, And every year, like, at least 4 people would have food poisoning. We would just go back the next year.
Okay, there was one time I didn't even get food poisoning though. I just kind of felt shitty, and my sister got food poisoning. But we went to this restaurant. We were on a trip. This was like freshman year. I was on a family trip, and we were driving to Yosemite. We were in the butt fuck nowhere, and there was like this random fake oldie timey West restaurant, and we got like a BLT. It was the most greasy shit
How much?
How you get a greasy BLT?
Repulsive. It was
That's
so
90% vegetables. What the?
It was so
How do you get
bad.
food poisoning from a BLT?
I know. And then bitch was like at the fucking. Oh, we were at I think we were at Oh, it might have been. Which is the one that's not as far north? Is it Sequoia or Redwood?
Redwoods is far north.
Okay, then we were at Sequoia, and my sister was just suffering in the fucking pit toilet.
So, because here's the thing, I don't know if there's 2 types of food poisoning, but thankfully
there are.
I always get the one that just makes you shit constantly. So because I don't have a fear of throwing up,
Yeah.
but I don't enjoy it like most people. Actually, the
It's
last
funny.
what.
Throwing up.
The last time, this is gonna get gross. If you don't like gross things, stop listening. The second or third night at our house last year, I ate an entire jumbo box of Nutty Bars, and then at 3 a.m. I was like,
I've not heard this.
So whenever I know I'm gonna throw up, it always begins with it's the same every time. It starts where I'm like, damn, I feel shitty. And then I sit there and I don't want to all I want to do is just drool constantly. But I don't want to do that on my bed. So I always put a little towel or something next to my bed, and then I hang my head off and I just go, and just salivate. Part of it is I think I produce, my dentist just told me that I produce more saliva than he's ever seen a human make. So I just be sitting there leaned over my bed, just constant stream of liquid out of my mouth. And somehow that makes it better for a little while. And so that's when I started our house. I was like, all right, I got a little towel here. This thing can just absorb all of my saliva. And then I was like, it's getting bad. And I got one of those hopefully this is a burp. Then it was a burp, and I was like, all right, time to
You get those burps that taste like stomach acid, and you're like, hold up.
And I was like, all right, it's time to go to the bathroom. When I was sitting next to the toilet.
That's the most depressing feeling. You're just in front of the toilet, damn.
Especially
like
there, because we needed to clean that damn toilet. So I was I didn't want to put my head near it, but I also kind of had to. So I had my arm with a towel, so I didn't have to touch the seat. With my arm over there, and I was just kind of drooling into the toilet. And then when I finally threw up, it was brown. It was just the only thing I had eaten. The only thing I had eaten for
no, the top.
Probably the last.
Didn't have the top on it.
The only thing I'd eaten for probably the last 5 hours was Nutty Bars.
That's repulsive.
And it was just chocolate. I just threw up chocolate and wafer.
That's disgusting. How can you eat those afterwards? I don't understand.
So basically, I think the food poisoning that just makes you shit constantly, I'm thinking that part of it is the choices of things that I eat.
Yeah, I think that's on you.
Some of it is actually food poisoning, and some of it is one night I ate only an entire bag of wonderful pistachios, and then
that's just because pistachios are hard to digest.
And then 5 grapefruit and grapefruit juice cups, and so my stomach was a mix of an entire bag of pistachios and acid, and then I was just shitting for
Yeah, that's on you. That's not poisoning.
I feel that's not even poisoning. That's just
a bad decision.
The most dense nut, the pistachio, and then it all gets dissolved.
Yeah, that's on you.
Does what Taco Bell does to humans count as food poisoning, or is that just is it different because you know it's gonna happen?
You're just being poisoned.
Because for Valentine's Day, I don't know why, but for Valentine's Day, remember when I told you guys that you don't choose to go to Taco Bell, you end up there?
Yeah.
When we were driving around. I take it back. There is one time in which you choose to go to Taco Bell. And that is when, for Valentine's Day, you get a $15 Taco Bell gift card from your mom. And I went...
Why did she choose Taco Bell?
And I was coming...
There's so many better choices.
We were coming back from, like, Taylor's Falls. My brother and I were like, we should stop at Taco Bell. Bold choice, considering we are 45 minutes from home at this point. And I was like, I'm never going to go to Taco Bell again soon, so I'm going to figure out what I can get for $15 at Taco Bell.
Oh, God.
Holy shit.
I'll tell you what you can get. 2 Chalupa Supremes.
No.
A Mountain Dew Baja Blast slushie.
Delightful.
Cinnamon churros. And then 2 soft shell outside Doritos Locos Taco inside tacos. So I had 4 tacos, a Baja Blast, and then those churros. And then I also was generously gifted about an hour and a half on the toilet the instant that I got home. It was miserable.
So fun.
So
The only
miserable.
time I've been to Taco Bell was when we were fucking driving to that shitty ass IHOP, waited there for half an hour and then left. And then you and Josh were like, it is 2 in the morning. We are out of here. And then me and Daniel and Ethan were driving around and we're like, where's Taco Bell? 4 a.m. We're like, okay, so something's still open. Only Taco Bell. Everything else is closed. And we're like, I gotta hit up Taco Bell. Middle of nowhere, like, eating in the pitch black in Ethan's car on the way back, and we're just like, this is, you know,
Let me jump into my...
oh, you know what I have been doing?
Mm.
I've been reading the Baki manga. That shit is
Damn.
crazy.
I want
It's-
to, ever since I saw the panel of, is it Yujiro?
Probably. The dad?
Yeah, of Yujiro getting shot in the head, but he moved his brain out of the way. Ever since I saw that, I was like, I will be reading Baki.
Baki, it's hilarious. Those motherfuckers are built not correctly. And every time you're like, okay. It's like, oh, they're fighting regular martial artists, but they have weird skills. Like this dude who sucks the air out of your mouth. Like, cool. That's like, that's a little bit, that's like some
Sounds
cool
like a
martial arts stuff.
stand.
Then they fighting this 146-year-old martial arts master who fucking hits instantly. And you're like, 146 years old? And he's still fighting this... Who fakes his death to not get completely deleted by Yujiro's punch. Funniest shit ever. Then he just comes back. He's like, only way to escape dying was to die.
The only thing that's been motivating me to watch manga recently... to read manga is I just be... Like, I'll watch some shoujo series. And most animated shoujo, they, like, animated a season of it as advertising for the manga. Like, that's typically how it goes with shoujo. So I'll, like, watch whatever they've made, and then I'm like, okay, that's it, I'm finishing the manga. And then I'd be finishing shit.
How far... You are 0 episodes in. How close are you to initial D?
To starting it? I'm on the verge.
Well.
I have Thursday and Friday off. Those are my initial D days.
Friday.
Nice.
Well, it is not a short show, so.
Friday is D day.
How many episodes is it?
26.
Nah, I got it. That's 13 a day. I can
If you start yesterday and do 2 episodes a day, you will almost make it.
No, we're recording.
Damn, that's perfect for me.
When are we recording?
Probably Sunday. Well, Daniel said Sundays don't work for him anymore, right?
Yeah.
Daniel, what the fuck? I don't even know when I
Well,
work.
not anymore. They just haven't. But I can't remember
Why
what
did
time
he
we done
agree
on
to
that
it in the
Sunday.
first place? Daniel,
The
What are you
one
talking
thing.
about?
Alright,
where
I got a question.
We've returned.
Ooh. I love questions.
Welcome back from
Me
the
too.
break. I don't know why I remembered this, but 3 years ago now? Yeah, 3 years ago when we were in Switzerland.
Mm.
We.
All of us.
Not you guys. Me and my cronies.
You and all
We
your
were robbing
internal
the
voices.
Switzerland bank.
It was
Devious, like.
the night after all of our races, and so I think we were all like flying home the next day.
Yeah.
Well, we all had like hotel rooms and shit, so we were like, I think it was like raining, and I remember Jared and I like went on a walk, and it was miserable because it was raining, but I don't know why. But one of the things we did is I remembered we like needed ideas of things to do, and I remembered my mom telling me about at her like girly sleepovers when she was in like elementary school or middle school or something. They would do the light as a feather, stiff as a board. Have you ever heard of that or done that?
Yes.
I've heard of it. I can't remember what it is.
It's you have someone lay down and they just lay down on like a bed, and you get some amount of people. It doesn't have to be a lot, which is the scary part. And you all put like one finger under like part of them, and then you chant "light as a feather, stiff as a board" like 5 times or something, and then you go like 3, 2, 1, and then everyone just lifts, and you don't like go or like this because you got one finger under them, but literally we were like throwing people into the air. Like we had like I think we had one of the times, so we had 8 of us, which was like 1 on like the ankles, 1 on like the thigh, 1 like here, and then 1 on the shoulders on each side, which is a decent amount of people, but we're all going like this, and it's still a human.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And somehow when you go like that, they don't go like blah, blah, like they are like a board, and you literally just yeet them into the air. It is the freakiest thing.
That's cool. I want to know why that works.
I don't know, because like, I don't know, I don't believe in all that witchcraft.
I don't think it's witchcraft.
Witchcraft hubbub. But it's interesting.
We chant a spell, so honestly, I'm running out of other explanations.
I mean,
lost on this one.
I don't know. You guys ever seen ghosts? You believe in ghosts?
No. Sometimes when I was a kid, when I would like, you know, when you like see, I had too much. I had a too vivid imagination because I'd be like looking down the corner of my eye, I'd be like, that was a person, but it was like I've been like reading too much. I was getting confused.
You guys sprint up your stairs to get away from the shadow beast.
I thought something was in the toilet.
Dude, I'm even to this day. So late at night when I'm scrounging for food, and I give up and I make a microwave burrito. You know how at my house the microwave is right above the basement stairs.
You have a scary basement
siphons
stairs.
Electricity from your house?
That's the one where if it runs for more than a minute, it kills the power, and then I have to go into the basement. So I'm always worried. So here's the problem. I cannot have the burrito in for long enough to cook it in one go, which would be the best because that means that I spend the least amount of time with my attention on the microwave, but my peripherals on the abyss. So what I have to do is usually that burrito has to go in like 3 or 4 turns. So a couple times I have to devote all of my attention and even open the door to like flip the thing. So I am covering myself from being able to see into the basement. But the thing that's in the basement can definitely see me when I'm up there. So I had when I was a kid, I must have just been a fucking idiot because at one point, I think my mom said, "Go upstairs," and I was like, "Okay," and in my head, I went straight upstairs. But when I got to the top of the stairs, my mom was already there, and I was like, "How did you get here? We have one staircase. How did you beat me here?" And she said, "No. We have a secret staircase. And when you turn 15, I'll tell you where it is." And I was it wasn't even like one of those, I'll forget about it. Every year I was like 1 year closer to knowing. I would like look for this shit. Like I was crawling around in our fucking attic to try to find this damn staircase for years. And then on my 15th birthday, my mom and my dad, like, they brought me into the kitchen and they had made like this note that they had like somehow done like the wax stamp on it or whatever, and they were like, it's time you learn about the secret staircase. And it was like a shit. He was like, the real secret staircase is the one in your mind. All right. And I was like, but I still to this day, I don't believe that she actually somehow just walked past me.
What the fuck was that once? Oh my god. We were having this conversation, we were at the chalet, and you were talking about this one time you dreamed that your mom dropped a pot, and then you woke up and
so I think I want to talk about dreams now, because I'm convinced that I am built different when it comes to dreaming. Because I'll go into more detail in the other bits, but for that story, yeah, so in my dream, something happened where, like, someone just dropped, like, this super loud pot, or, like, this metal thing. And it was, like, in my dream, it was such a loud, like, noise that it woke me up in real life. And then I woke up, and, like, a second later, heard my mom actually drop a pot in our house, and I was like, I'm the chosen one. It's me.
Dude's convinced you're psychic.
But when you guys are dreaming, do you can you tell?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it depends. So
sometimes
there's two kinds of
realistic
dreams.
Ones.
There's the night dreams and the morning dreams. There's the one where when I'm
That's
falling asleep,
real.
I'm like thinking about stuff and like I'm imagining this whole scene, and like it's like when you're thinking about it, you're like, this is a normal thing, but obviously nothing that's happening makes any sense. There's that one. Then there's the morning dreams, where it's like nothing makes any sense, but you're like, you still think it's normal, but it's like an extreme version. Or it's like I am waking up and I wake up late and miss my exam and fail the class and have to drop out of college, and I wake up and I'm like, fuck, I missed the exam. And I'm like, wait.
Have you ever dreamed your entire day, and then you wake up and you have to live it again, and you're like, fuck, I already got that over with. That happened to me the morning before the ACT. I dreamed that I took the ACT.
That's like the worst.
It was so sad. I was so sad when I woke up.
I don't think I've ever done that. Weirdly, my dreams are like, I've got sort of like you. Well, I've got three. I have three types of nights. I have the night where I close my eyes and then I wake up and it's the morning. Those are goated. I love those.
That's the best kind of night.
Then I've got the lucid dreams. That's what they're called, right?
Yeah.
Where it's like, I guess I don't always have control over the setting. In fact, usually the setting is, let me set the scene. You seen the movie Jurassic Park? It's Jurassic Park. And I'm being chased by some sort of government operation. And I'm always in like one of those fan boats to start. Dream? It always starts, I'm in the fan boat, and I'm being chased by like Spec Ops. And then from there, it devolves into whatever. Like it's like a choose your own adventure.
Yeah.
Like it's always Jurassic Park kind of. Mm-hmm. Like not.
The setting is Jurassic Park, but there's not always like dinosaurs. But not
like actually.
Like a jungle.
In your
island.
mind,
it's always a jungle island, and I always at some point run into a Triceratops. But other than that,
that's a Baki reference. You wouldn't get it though.
Other than that, I got control over it. I've got that dream, and that one's far and few between. Like I don't have that one often. And then I wouldn't really call them nightmares because it's just the other type of dream that I have, but they're always like, they're never happy. Like, there's always real people in them, and it's either like someone in my dream is just chronically ill, and I just have to deal with that, and then I wake up, and I'm like, damn. I think that's why I usually think that the ones where nothing happens is goated, because the other ones are like, your family has died.
I have like semi-lucid dreams, where like, I swear to God, I feel like my dreams are actually trolling me. Like, I'm like, because I'm like, I know I'm dreaming. I'm like, okay, I want to change this one thing. And I'm like, okay, gotta think about that thing and change it. And then it changes differently. I'm like, no, go back. Wait, no, slow down. And I'm actually like, God, this is infuriating.
What happens when I don't, like, when I'm having a dream and I'm like, I don't like that dream. I'll wake up and I'm like, I don't like that dream. I want to dream about something else now.
Do you guys, how often do you, like, die in your dreams?
I never die in my dreams.
I'm always based.
Not like, you know, the thing where you almost die and then you wake up, but like...
Yeah, no, that never happens to me. Because I have, like, life realistic dreams.
I think I die.
My dreams have, like, realistic... My dreams always have real people in them. Always.
Mine always have... Well, what do you mean real people?
Like, people I know.
Oh.
And it's
always like have people I know, except it's like they're superheroes or something.
That would be lit. I wish my dreams were
Yeah, mine are always, they're not what they are.
Yeah. Mine are like random, either sad things or things where I'm like, this situation makes sense. Then I wake up and I'm like, what the fuck is going on?
I swear to God, like, half my dreams, everyone is a magical girl.
Everyone's
like, kind of.
Sometimes I'll be like dreaming and there's like a piano competition and everyone's in a piano competition. In my dream I'm like, this is right, everyone does play piano. And I wake up and I'm like, what the fuck?
I think I just die in a lot of, but not like
that seems
not
concerning.
Like I die and then I wake up, but like when I do have dreams, there's always points in them where I think I'm like, I don't think it's like a, you know, I used to have the ones, I would have this dream all the time as a kid where it would actually like troll the fuck out of me because it would be like a normal kid dream, like I don't know what fucking kids dream about, but I would be like, I'm running in the park or something, or I'm, you know, exploring something. And it would always, I would have to like cross a street or something, and I would go grass, I'd be sidewalk, and my first step off the curb would teleport me to miles into the sky, and I would be falling, and then right before I hit the ground, I would like wake up.
I have a lot of falling dreams. I'm like, I'll be like climbing something and I fall off it backwards, and I'm like, oh, guess I'm gonna die now, and I go through the thought process of like, I'm falling. At some point I'm gonna hit the ground, and then at some like I don't usually wake up.
The thing is, I don't like kill myself awake anymore in dreams.
Yeah.
Like, I think I like I just die and then my brain's like respawn.
Yeah. It's not like I die on impact. It's just like I'm like, wow, I'm falling. I'm gonna die. Like, I'm gonna hit that rock and my head is. I'm just gonna smash apart. And like in the process of falling, I wake up. I have a lot of falling dreams though. I did not.
I remember like the two dreams that I remember most from my childhood. This is the one I literally can never forget.
I had a terrifying childhood dream.
It's
going next.
Okay. You know the room that my sister is in my house?
The one with the closet?
Yes. Well, it was when, I think this was like so long ago that I was still like a member of society. I was not in the closet yet. But I remember, so the door to my room opens. The entire house is on fire, and there is a bear coming up the stairs. And literally that shit was absolutely terrifying. And I still remember it, and I'm like, damn, that shit was crazy. Like, so clearly. It was like, probably when I was like 6 or...
Dude.
I faintly remember you mentioning the I don't know if I remembered the fire part.
Yeah. I heard you talk about the fucking bear.
I remember you
Everything is on fire and the bear is coming up the stairs.
Dude, so my horrifying childhood dream that was like recurring and it was always freaked me out is that we had like this storybook and there was like a cat. I kind of like recreated it. It was not how it was, but there was like a cat by a tree and it was on the shore and I was in a river and I was in a boat. We like pulled up the shore and the cat was like, hi, but I don't really remember the details.
Meow.
But the cat's there.
Hello, I'm a cat.
And the cat has keys and I'm like, oh my god, cat with keys, and the cat starts ripping his teeth out with the keys.
What the fuck?
It was horrifying. I was so terrified. I would wake up and I'd be like, my parents would be like, wow, that's a dream. It was.
Y'all ever have the trippy dreams?
Yes,
There's this
I
one
hate
dream.
them.
Do you guys have like when you're sick or when you have a fever? Do you ever have like nutty dreams?
I think so, but also I'm so tripped out when I have a fever that I'm pouring sweat and then I wake up. Actually, I don't think I do.
Yeah.
I think when I have a fever,
I don't ever remember my dreams.
Yeah.
When I have a fever, I'm dying and then it's the next morning.
Yeah. I never, I actively try not to have trippy dreams. Because I think something about what I did to myself as, a overly enthusiastic reader as a kid, my imagination goes too hard. My mind just creates images 24/7, and I'm like, okay, I don't want those images in my brain because there's too much, and I don't like it gets me off track. So I'm like, I'm just gonna dream about real life, and that's more manageable for me.
My trippy dream was just like cool. It's like the only.
They're always overwhelming to me. It's never fun.
It was like there's a rocket ship, but it's not like one like that NASA would have. It's like a weird steampunk kind of one.
Yeah.
But I was never in the rocket ship. It was just like there.
Yeah.
But I could see inside of it, but not the outside.
Yeah.
And then it was like this field of flowers, except it was like dark, but not like nighttime dark.
Interesting.
And I'd
That's
like
cool.
it would be like
sick.
zooming
that
out.
does sound cool.
What?
It was crazy. Like the zooming out feeling was like crazy.
That's awesome.
What perspective are your dreams?
First person.
in?
From me.
Your first person?
Yeah. It's always me.
It depends.
I think I've had a couple story dreams.
I'm not like first person.
Yeah.
Well, I guess it's first person. But
it always
like,
feels
it's not,
like me. Like I'm always like I am Nicole.
It feels like I'm seeing through my eyes, but I'm not like the person there.
Yeah. I actually. Yeah.
So I'm not like third person like a movie. Like it's not like a camera here and it's
just
like
that one
dream,
me. The trippy one. That's the third person one.
Yeah, mine is always like from the perspective of kind of my eyes, but if my head was about 5 feet behind me and like 3 feet higher, it's like this is me. It's like up here, but I'm not like looking down at myself.
Huh.
Like somehow
it's like a third person video game.
Third person, but if I'm not actually there, like I'm looking at where I am, but I'm not there.
Huh. Interesting.
I just know that I'm there.
Have you guys ever had a dream where it's really good and then you wake up and you're really sad?
That's real? Every single one of my morning dreams.
Yeah.
When I have morning dreams that I can remember, and I get up too early, I try so hard to like get back into them.
Yeah.
You just can't.
Because sometimes they're so happy, and then you wake up and you're like, damn, that's fake.
I really be living in this life.
I'm always like, something is happening, and I haven't reached the climax of the plot, and I need to know.
And I'm like, I need to get to that event or whatever.
It's always like...
Which is so annoying, because, like, you made that up.
Yeah.
I don't get why I can't just...
I cliffhanger myself.
Make it up and go back.
I finished it before. I've done that before.
Gone back in?
Well,
sometimes
it's like Sword Art Online.
Sometimes even like if I wake up and I'm like, that's a bad dream, I go back to sleep and I go back to the same dream.
I want to try this. I wish that actually maybe I can make it work. The problem is my room is so small.
Don't know what you're saying.
It was this. I saw this video of this dude who was streaming Minecraft VR, like on some super long stream, and he fell asleep, and then he woke up still in Minecraft VR. And he's like, but like, he figured it out pretty quick because there was like a chat and everything. But I'm like, I wish
no chat.
I was like, I wish that I could like wake up in a VR game with HUD off, and like actually just wake up.
Wake up in VR porn.
You wake up, clap and cheek. You're like, yo.
Hypothetically, VR porn is not it.
Yeah, that would make sense.
Based on the VR porn I've seen that's not in VR? That shit's funny.
What is it then?
It just is like wide angle camera. Like panoramic shot, except it spreads out at the sides on a flat phone screen, and it's
man,
not
that sounds
watchable.
Fun. That sounds lovely.
That sounds miserable. The problem, again, hypothetically, the problem with it is there's just so much going on.
I think they probably bank on the people that are using VR porn to not know what it really looks like.
Maybe. I mean, it's just like, I don't know. I guess I don't ever actually want to be in the... If I'm watching it, I'm not like, I want to be right there, right now. And then you're there, and you're like, what the fuck is going on? Also, something about the act of like not having pants on or something, but just having a VR headset on is just like the most. I'm like, in the off chance that someone fucking comes into my house and I have butt ass naked with a VR headset on, just standing there or something like.
Standing there, fucking bricked up like. Motherfucker. VR glasses on, bricked up, T-posed up in the living room. Robber breaks in, they're gone.
Robber be like, wrong house.
No, because I've done like the VR ones. For one, I use the fucking like movie theater app that I've got where I can blow up. If I go on Google or any website that exists, I can put whatever I would be watching into like a movie theater. And then if I lay down in my bed, I've got a movie theater that is if I'm laying down there. And so it's basically the same thing.
But it looks really stupid though.
No, because I'm just laying there in my bed with a headset on.
Still stupid.
You're missing out.
I'm okay with that.
Or there's a couple ones in VR chat that just have like different anime shows running 24/7, and you can just like watch them with people. Oh my god, VR! You were at our house when I did VR, the karaoke thing.
Yes, I can't remember anything about
Thank
that.
God you had your headphones on. The problem, VR karaoke sounds like the best thing ever.
I don't think it does.
Debatable, but
to me,
sure.
It's fun. The idea seems fun.
The idea of karaoke in general does not sound fun.
Yeah. Are there karaoke bars near here?
So there used to be a sushi karaoke bar where the old Sword Co-op used to be, and it's closed now.
If we can find one over the summer, we gotta go.
I know.
Anyways, the problem with VR karaoke is the server that you're in has whatever delay.
Oh no!
But it's the same for everyone. So, or it like adjusts. So to use Noah as an example, when Noah is doing a karaoke thing, the music for him is in time for him, right? And for me, I'm also listening to the music in time for me. But his voice is him. That's not my thing.
No.
So his voice is a little bit off. And so you just have to listen to like a half-second delay of someone who's not good at singing. Not that Noah isn't, but none of us are. So
Through VR mic?
Well, I had it on my head, like my headphones, but...
That's
so when
horrendous.
I tried to do, I think I did like Rap God or something.
Oh.
Or like Godzilla. But in order for Noah to be able to hear it normally, I had to do it ahead of the music and try to predict the words, and it was so hard.
That sounds
But the fun part of it is it's
horrendous.
like this big, stage room, and you've got the projector board, this giant screen that's got the words on it, and then you just have so many songs everywhere.
Yeah,
And
that's true.
It's like a funny mix of not just like a Spotify pick anything you want, but just this weird amount of songs where you're like, damn, I guess I gotta do this weird Bruno Mars song because there's nothing else on here.
Yeah, it's sad that karaoke bars close. Sushi
The
karaoke.
idea of
that sounds lit.
the idea of the karaoke thing to me is like, I'm not good at singing.
Oh, me neither. It's just goofy.
But-
it's fun.
Yeah, it's like if you can get a bunch of people who, the thing is, I don't think I would want. I think I would want to do it with someone who's good at singing to hear them sing, but I wouldn't actually want them there.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. Like they would
No one's
appreciate
allowed to be
that they're-
good there.
I would appreciate it that they're good at it.
Yeah.
But like, suck like the
Get
rest
out.
of us. Like,
You can sing one
We're
song
all
and
about to be a
leave.
where if you can somehow conceal yourself to one register and be kind of flat on every note, then you can stay. But if not, nah, you gotta get out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll maybe do some research and see if
That
there's
Put
sounds
it
lit.
down. Put it on the bucket list.
Put on the
Yo,
vlog
on the bucket list vlog.
I'm gonna get on the grind. Have, like,
we're doing
4
the
things.
karaoke bar vlog. We're doing the
Cooking.
nude hot spring. Nude hot spring vlog.
Okay.
That will have to be uploaded to Pornhub and not YouTube, so stay tuned for that one.
This is being
Pornhub.
Subtitled
damn.
Opinions on Pornhub.
That's that sounds.
I'm updating this list.
That sounds.
Bucket list.
Yeah.
Summer. That's okay.
What do you have so far?
So what do I got? Nose pierce.